What's up, guys? It's Dallas, aka Soup City, aka Soup and Salad, and today I've got a very interesting Digimon deck profile. It is my green Digisorption BT5 deck. So, if you're unfamiliar, Digisorption didn't really get much support since 1.5. 1.5 is when Ceresmon came out. I believe that's when Argomon and Blossomon and those other Digimon also came out. But the only other cards that have been released, and this was for BT5, are these two cards, Royal Nuts and Kiwimon, which I'll explain a little bit more in the profile. So it's definitely not a meta deck. It's not a top tier deck. But with the delay of BT6, I thought it was a good time to just try out something fun, something unique, and try out a green deck now before, from what I've heard, BT6 kind of green drops off a little bit. So if you're unfamiliar with Digisorption, essentially it allows you to suspend one of your own Digimon in order to Digivolve for free or at a really reduced cost. Most of the Digimon allow you to Digivolve for free. But with Ceresmon, you are allowed to suspend your opponent's Digimon to activate your Digisorption effect. So the basic strategy of the deck is to get Ceresmon out and start suspending your opponent's Digimon to evolve your Digimon for free, and then control the board with suspending their Digimon. And obviously green, if you're not familiar with green, capitalizes off of your opponent's Digimon being suspended, whether that's through piercing, Nidhogg to wipe the board. There's lots of big brain plays that you can make with this deck. So in my experience with the deck, I think that basically I beat the people that I would normally beat, and I lost to the people that I would normally lose to. So I'm definitely not much of a big brain control oriented player. But if you are, and you are familiar with green, I think that this can be an honestly pretty competitive deck. It's a lot of fun. It throws people off, and I think that was kind of another one of the reasons why I decided to build this. Is I've seen a lot of the decks that have been successful in large tournaments are, I think, successful largely due to people just being unprepared for them, them being unfamiliar with the deck, them being not meta and not something that people are prepared for. That shock factor, I think, is pretty valuable. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. Starting out with our Digitama, we're running 4 Argomon. Argomon says, your turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your unsuspend phase, gain a memory. So you could argue for a few different Digitama in this spot, but I think that one of the biggest struggles of the deck, oddly enough, is having enough memory to make the plays. Green is arguably the most effective color in turboing up because of Digisorption and because of its access to a lot of one-cost level 4s to Digivolve up to. But the name of the game is getting to Ceresmon, and it's still difficult a lot of the time to be able to get up to Ceresmon, so every bit of memory really goes a long way. And then we're running a 1 of Minomon, and Minomon's when attacking skill is if you attack one of your opponent's Digimon, this Digimon gains 1,000 DP for the turn. So because you are trying to suspend your opponent's Digimon and then swing over them and control the board, this DP is very beneficial, which segues perfectly into the next first rookie, which is 4 of Palmon. Palmon, if you attack one of your opponent's Digimon, this Digimon gains 2,000 DP for the turn. So that's really good. 2,000 DP, just thinking about how many Digimon you can swing over with 2,000 extra DP is pretty significant. And then kind of along the same line, Agumon having 1,000 DP to be able to swing over things. So, you know, pair these together, you're getting 3,000. Pair these together, you're getting 2,000. All that stuff adds up. Then we are running 6 2-drop rookies, 2 Argomon, 4 Goblimon. The reason for the ratios is that, I mean, I don't think many people are running BT1 Omnimon anymore, but in case they are, you know, you got this Argomon, you got this Argomon, you got an Argomon at almost every level in this deck, so try to play around that with Goblimon. So 2-cost vanillas are always really valuable, but especially for this deck, because like I said, this deck is centered around Digisorption, so it's really efficient to be able to just drop one of these for 2, immediately suspend it for your Digisorption to be able to turbo up for free with your other Digimon. So that's the reason for having all 6 of those. And then last but certainly not least, one of my favorite Digimon that's actually really good for green is Terriermon. Your opponent can't gain memory except with Tamer effects. So good for controlling, good for, going up against blue. Basically every color really has some way of gaining memory. And Terriermon stops that from happening. So there's that. See if I can squeeze everything in here. Maybe not, but you can see a little bit there. Okay. Then going on to our level 4s, running 2 of Kiwimon. So this is one of the Digimon I talked about. This is from BT5, and its on play is reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add all Digimon cards with Digisorption among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So it's on play. It's only a 4-cost, which is pretty low for a level 4. And so you can just, play this out and then, cheat up into your level 5. So it's pretty good from like a memory efficiency standpoint. If you start your turn with 3, you can hard play this, pass your opponent to 1, and potentially, scoop up a bunch of your cards that you need. The number of times that I hit two cards with Digisorption from this on play was pretty surprising. It happened fairly frequently. So don't sleep on this card. It's pretty good. But as you'll see, from an efficiency standpoint, you only want to run 2 of these. Then we've got another Argomon, like I mentioned, level 4 Argomon. So this one can Digisorb to reduce the cost by 2, so it's free. So that's what this could potentially be free. I feel like it happens a little more often for the higher level Digimon, so that's why we're only running 3 of these instead of 4. And the on play cost is pretty high, so you don't want to brick by having too many of those. Vegemon is super efficient, on play only for 1 cost, and 6,000 DP is super, super strong. Green's the only color with Vegemon is the only Digimon with those stats, and it's very good on a lot of levels with the play cost, the Digivolve cost, and the DP. And then lastly, just 1 cost blocker Kabuterimon. Efficiency and having a blocker is super valuable. You need to be able to turbo up, so that's why I'm not running Woodmon. So the 1 cost is really nice. And then you can also, just hard play a 2 cost and then Digivolve for 1, and that's pretty good play too. We're running 1 Argomon level 5 because it is limited to 1, because it is very good. So it allows you to Digivolve with Digisorption for free, and it also has an inheritable when attacking, you may play one level 3 green Digimon from your hand suspended without paying its memory cost. So you can cheat out any of these things. Obviously, like Terriermon is a really great option to be able to just play for free, and then if you're going to attack, you don't need to worry about hitting into a Hammer Spark or something like that to pass turn. So that's really good. Just kind of a side note, I personally think that Argomon is very good. I don't think that it needs to be limited to one. I think that arguably Anjouamon, same level, I think is stronger because this plays Digimon for free, suspended, and Anjouamon can play out a Bushi that can just swing for game that turn, and its Digivolving effect allows to negative security attack 2 on a Digimon. So that's just my little spiel there. And then we're running 4 of Blossomon. Again, more Digisorption, and yeah, it's a really good card to be able to just cheat up for free and then potentially suspend one of your opponent's Digimon in order to play it. And then if you have, a Palmon and an Agumon on top of it, or a Palmon, just a Palmon, it's at 9,000 DP, and you can just Digivolve for free, swing over something for 9k. And then the other level 5s are 2 Mega Kabuterimon. This is another good control card. You can suspend something, swing over it, and then even though you don't have piercing, you effectively have piercing. But they just trash the top security card rather than making a security check. So it doesn't activate Tamers, it doesn't activate options, it doesn't activate security Digimon. So it's super, super valuable, really good for security control matchup and a lot of other matchups. So very good card. Wish you could run more of it. And then 2 Cherrymon, 2 cost, very effective for a memory standpoint, and just having a big blocker that can also attack without losing memory is very valuable. Running low on space here. I'm going to start just adding up here. Moving on to the MVP of the deck, running 4 Ceresmon. The whole deck is centered around Ceresmon, so you really want 4 of them. I was running 3 at one point, and there were some games that I still didn't see it, even with all of the searching capabilities of it. So you really want 4 of. And like I said, so its effect is it can Digisorb itself, or any Digimon or any of your Digimon, to reduce the cost by 3. So even though it's a 5 cost, you can Digivolve for a cost of 2 for level 6, which is super valuable. And it's the really good effect is on your turn when suspending, once per turn, that is key, once per turn, when suspending a Digimon for Digisorption, you may suspend your opponent's Digimon instead. So that allows you to make all of the plays that I've been mentioning, which suspend your opponent's Digimon, swing over it, trash the security, swing over a big body, lots of different things like that. So very key. I will say that, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, it is kind of difficult to get up into it because a lot of the time I would run into a situation where I could Digisorb it itself to cheat up into it for 2 and not pass turn, or just barely pass turn, but then I was worried about it getting swung over the next turn. So it's really important to be able to get this out first and not get it swung over itself, so you can start controlling the board. So that's just kind of a tip there. Running 2 Nidhogg because Nidhogg is incredible. It's also a 5 cost to Digivolve, doesn't allow you to do Digisorption, but just being able to wipe the board, suspend all of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less, then place all of your opponent's suspended Digimon at the bottom of the deck in any order, trash the sources underneath. So, like I said, with Ceresmon, being able to suspend your opponent's Digimon and then wipe the board with Nidhogg is a super, super good play. So, Nidhogg is good. And it's got 13,000 DP, which is very good. And then we're running one Refugimon. Just a really good control card. You can Digiburst 2 to have all of your Digimon gain 2000 DP for the turn. Like I said, you want the DP boost to be able to swing over things. And then once per turn, when one of your Digimon activates Digiburst, which these are the only ones that have Digiburst, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block for the turn. So obviously that's good to be able to continue to control the board. And you can also Digivolve this over a Nidhogg or a Ceresmon for a cost of 1, or over your 5s for a cost of 3. So pretty efficient from that standpoint. Moving on to the options. We're playing one Royal Nuts, which is just a funny name, kind of a meme card. The artwork is awesome. I love all those Digimon. But also it's actually really good for this deck because it's only a 1 cost, and you can reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and add 1 card with Digisorption from among them, and then place the rest on the bottom. So you really want to be able to draw your Digisorption cards, and this just allows you to dig for them. Hopefully find the piece that you need in order to keep going in. It's only a 1 cost, so very efficient. Just a 1-of though. Hidden potential discovered. It's too good not to play. I understand why this is limited. I don't think Argomon level 5 should be, but I can understand why this is limited because it's a free cost. You could just Digivolve into Ceresmon for free because it allows you to suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the cost by 5. So that's really good. And then I'm running 2 Flower Cannon and 1 Needle Spray. There are a lot of people who have strong opinions about which one of these cards is better. I found that I was running 1 of each at basically when I play tested it for the first time. I ran a bunch of 1-of cards just to see like what did I like the most, what was the most valuable, and Flower Cannon was the one that I found myself just like hoping and praying was in my security the most, because that can really like literally save you the game one time, because if they hit a Flower Cannon, suspend all of their Digimon that don't have blocker, and then that just keeps you alive for a turn. So obviously things like Rookie Rush, and if they're just going wide, it's super, super valuable. And then Needle Spray does just suspends one of their Digimon, but adds it to your hand. So that can be super valuable too, to be able to swing over things. So, and then last but not least, Mimi is just one of the best tamers in the game. It's Memory Tamer, gets you to 3. Like I said, you really need the memory to be able to turbo. And then your main, if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can suspend this tamer to hatch another egg or raise it. And like I didn't really realize how strong this card was until it starts really working, to be able to just raise up another body on that turn is so valuable. You can swing for game just with that 1 play alone. So really, really valuable card. We'll see where I can squeeze it in here. I'll just kind of put it up top here. And then here are some just notable mentions for cards if you try out the deck and you don't really like the ratios, or the top end at least. Chaosmon Valderarm is obviously a really good card for controlling, to be able to reduce a Digimon's DP by 7,000 twice, and then on deletion gain 3 memory. Super good. The reason why I'm not running this is because like these these Digimon can effectively do a lot of like can control the board like Chaosmon Valderarm, but are more like memory efficient. So Reflexiamon is a 1 cost instead of a 6 cost. Like passing over 5 memory a lot of the time or 6 memory really hurts. But it can be a game changing play to be able to, you know, potentially wipe the board or wipe out a big body. So that's a possible card. Bancho Stingmon. Like I said, you're trying to suspend your opponent's Digimon, and with Bancho, if they're 12k DP or higher, you can swing over that with what is this? It gets 7,000 DP, so it goes up to 16,000 DP, and it gets your security attack +2 with piercing. So that can just like win you the game right there. So I wish that there was space for it, or that I felt like there was space for it, but maybe you'll find space for it. And then the last one is Argomon. I was running this initially just as another Digimon to be able to search with Kiwimon and Royal Nuts, because it has Digisorption, so you can Digivolve for cost of 2, and for each of your other suspended Digimon, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So if you're doing Digisorption things and you are able to get out a wide board, and you have, or if you're just, you know, attacking with everything and then they're suspended, this gets security attack +1. So that's really good. You know, there are lots of good green cards. You know, there are lots of good level 4s. I was running Roachmon initially, just for the memory efficiency, being able to play something for 3, and then you know, if you had a Mimi and you had 3 memory, just hard play that, and then go up to Blossomon for free, and then go into Reflexiamon all in one turn is like pretty incredible. Or Ceresmon or Reflexiamon or any of them really is a good turn, but just with other Nidhogg, with you know, Alter S, Ultimate Flare, like it really hurts. Like I was running it over Vegemon, and it happened. All of those things happened to me. So yeah, I think Vegemon is the more efficient and smart play. So that is the deck profile. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like and comment on the video. Subscribe to the channel for more of this content, and we'll see you in the next one.